Hey guys, welcome back to Just Our Tip Tuesday. Would you like to pull a tip out of the jar?
It's mine. My turn. Okay. This is a good question. I have a spring break trip in 2 weeks, and I was wondering how I could look best on the beach.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. You're 2 weeks away, so there are a few things you can do, but there's not a lot you can do. So oftentimes, I've seen this before. Well, we've had a college student in the past come in and go, okay, I'm 2 weeks away. And actually, it's a very similar question. How can I like starve myself basically and look amazing for the beach? Well, you should not do that.
Yeah,
okay?
don't do that.
And you shouldn't do endless amounts of cardio to get you to that point. So don't starve yourself and don't do endless exercise right now. So you really should have been doing this at the start of the year or a few months ago. That's really where to, but here
or
you
just
are.
kind of forever, right? Like just living the lifestyle of somebody who would be happy with what they see on the beach.
Absolutely.
I think a couple things. Number one, it depends on like what makes you feel like you look good on the beach.
That's
right?
what, yes.
Because comparing yourself to a cover model of a fitness magazine, really not a good idea. They're working with professionals who are manipulating like water intake and carb intake and salt intake to make them look as lean as possible before a shoot. And you can even look things up online where people talk about like, I wouldn't live that way, not really even that healthy. Please don't try to just be cover all the time. But that being said, I imagine this question comes from like, I just want to look good for myself, so I'm gonna go that way.
Sure.
There are a couple things you can do from like a nutrient standpoint to look a little bit leaner. This is not going to be like you will drop 5% body fat and add a bunch of muscle in 2 weeks.
Right.
It doesn't really happen that way.
Not in 2 weeks.
But what you can do is start to think about nutrient timing, perhaps, as a way that you can start to look a little bit leaner. So if you're looking at, one of the ways that you can look like fluffier in general, I use fluffy as a term, is just storing water, all right? Like the more water you're storing, the more like kind of full you'll look. So before you go on your spring break trip, you might just cut back your starchy carbohydrates a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Keep things down to fruits and vegetables, pull back a little bit on like the grains, rice, oats, things like that, because those store water. Glycogen needs 2 water molecules for every 1 glycogen molecule to sit inside of your body. So if you think about one thing you can do, it's very, very tight inside of your spring break as we talked about, but you can pull back the carbs a little bit and it'll help you look a little bit leaner for a period of time.
I like that
anything
one.
else?
No, that's what actually my favorite is the pulling back on the carbs. So, but again, as you said, the starchy carbs are going to be more the important one, and keep into your your fruits and vegetables, of course, are awesome. So that's going to help supplement in terms of substitute, not really supplement, but substitute if you are a person that loves sugar. I get this question asked all the time, like, is there too much fruit that you can have? Yes.
Yes, technically.
There can be, but we will never have that much fruit in one setting.
It's very rare that somebody could actually sit down and be like, I'm going to have an entire fruit salad that's the size of this tip jar, right?
Sure.
It just don't. It's like saying, man, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have 72 ounces of steak. Probably not going to happen. Like overeating high protein foods, high fiber foods like fruits and vegetables is pretty difficult. So yeah, you can substitute, your starchy carbs.
Yeah, and I've had somebody ask me, they're like, well, is it okay to have 3 bananas in one day? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. That's better than going and getting a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
So, yes, absolutely.
And the last thing, guys, just to add, so right before, like if you're like, man, I want to look really good on that Monday when I first get there, number one, if you're flying there, make sure you are drinking a ton of water.
Absolutely.
All right. Being dehydrated, it's kind of funny. I just said holding on to water makes you look a little bit fluffier, but being dehydrated has a very similar effect. And you get super dehydrated in an airplane, so drink a bunch of water.
And that's where you get sick from. So
you want to feel good. Drink all that, and then also you can reduce your sodium intake as well, because salt will help you hold it too. So 3 things: you can reduce your starchy carbohydrate intake, make sure you stay very well hydrated, especially when traveling, and reduce your salt intake the last couple of days before you would get on the beach, and that will be a way to make you look a little bit leaner. But really what you should do is be looking at this as like an all year long thing, or at least like January 1 if you've got an April 1 trip that you should be focusing on.
And here's the thing, it's not too late for that summer body either.
True.
So, you know what, after that spring break, get on in here and we will help you out.
That's right.
All right, guys, well, have a good rest of your week. We will see you next week on Just Our Tip Tuesday. And we've got a couple tips left, so if you're a part of the community, drop a tip in here for us to ask. And if you're not, drop it in the comment section below the video. Have a good week. Take care. Bye-bye.